Right, for more on the conflict between Israel, Iran and the US, let's bring in Marwan Bishara, Al Jazeera's senior political analyst, who's joining us now live from London. Marwan, does peace reign, or does Israel's reservation of its right to still attack Lebanon give you cause for concern?
Well, yes, of course. First of all, because it's a violation of the ceasefire agreement. I remember that it was the Pakistanis who mediated the ceasefire agreement who said that Lebanon was included in that ceasefire unless, of course, Israel and later on the United States decided to, break away with the deal that the Trump administration made. But that's, of course, not the first time. If you remember, the Omani mediators had a problem with the fact that Israelis keep violating, and the United States and Qatar, of course, as a mediator. So its deals blown up by Israel. So this is not the first time that Israel blows up a deal signed or mediated by an Arab country, unfortunately, or Pakistan. Unfortunately, this time it's the same. And I think the Iranians, among other objectives, what they tried to do this time is try to reconnect the files, the Iranian and the Lebanese file, by bombing Israel, by saying, look, if there's no ceasefire, there will be no ceasefire, meaning we will blow it all up unless you include Lebanon in the deal that we all signed.
Do you think then that Iran is going to have to accept that this conflict is now splitting into two distinct parts? I mean, it can support Hezbollah. It has that right to continue doing that. But in order to get a deal with the US, it will have to remove that conditional support of a ceasefire for Lebanon.
No, exactly the contrary. What it's done in the past 24 hours is try to pull back basically its levers and insist, and here it's not a question of Hezbollah per se, because Israel is occupying much of South Lebanon, displacing more than 1 million Lebanese, has killed almost 4,000 Lebanese. So it's not just a question of Hezbollah at this point in time. It's the entire country that's being violated. So Lebanon is at play, there's no doubt about that. And that's what Netanyahu wanted, to separate Lebanon from Iran and to be able to do what he might with the country without anyone responding. And as we know, the international response has been weak. So what Iran did, or acted the way it acted, was by saying, we reject your separation of the files. We insist that a ceasefire needs to include both Iran and Lebanon.
Can I pick up on your point that you say the whole country, Lebanon, is at play? Can the US then convince Israel to back off long enough to get a deal with Iran over the line?
My sense is that, of course, I wasn't there on the conversation between Netanyahu and Trump, but Trump is getting fed up with Netanyahu, as one of your earlier guests put it, and I would even go further than that. I think Trump is warming up, because I think eventually he's going to blame the war on Netanyahu, because the war is not going well. Despite the little sound bites you just showed us about how, we're winning, we destroyed this, we did that, and so on and so forth. Almost everyone knows, including in the United States, that not only this is an unpopular war, it didn't work out for the Trump administration, that they're stuck now. They can't go back to an open war, and they cannot force Iran to peace. The idea that Trump started with, that I am an effing crazy president and that's why they respect me, the madman sort of strategy, if you will, of attacking Iran and saying nothing but a complete surrender. There is no complete surrender. Iranian nuclear program is not destroyed. Iranian missiles still intact. So what exactly has he accomplished? What has Netanyahu accomplished in that sense, in the strict sense of the declared objectives? So now he is stuck, and he's going to be blaming Netanyahu. And Netanyahu is basically acting, according to some, like a rabid dog. I mean, he just wants to bomb, he wants to scream. And by the way, that little thing that you started with Netanyahu, I'm not sure our viewers around the world heard what Netanyahu just said. He actually said that if we didn't attack Iran, meaning on February 28th, there would have been no Israel no more. I mean, imagine the escalatory, the populist way in which Netanyahu is deceiving his own people and deceiving the world about a war of choice. against Iran. And that is not to the liking of Trump at this point in time.
Marwan Bishara, Al Jazeera senior political analyst, joining us from London. Thank you.